1. Okay, good. 2. Oh.
Ow! Oh, I hit my funny bone. Oh, why do they call it a funny bone? It's not funny at all. Oh, pins and needles. Oh, I wish there was some way to make this pain go away faster, like a healing spell or something. But we don't know any wizards. But we do know some fantasy game experts, and we know a dietitian and a super creative health science expert. So maybe, instead of a healing spell, we could make a healing potion. What do you think? You want to go make a health potion? Yeah? Okay, let's go. Come on, let's talk to those fantasy experts.
My name is Davis Leong. I'm a chemist and teacher, and I'm here to talk about some cool science fiction stuff.
Yeah.
Or fantasy stuff, sorry. We were talking about science fiction earlier.
So Davis, what is a health potion?
I mean, health potion, depending on the context you're talking about in, right? But I think most of us will probably imagine some sort of vial with a red liquid. I feel like that's pretty common color language for a health potion, and that it would restore your hit points if you're playing a game, or it would heal you, or heal a party member, something to that effect.
A very helpful definition. But what could be in a real-life health potion? Time to bring in another expert.
I'm Alana Vokes. I'm an artist. I have a background in fine arts and art history. I am also a naturalist. I have a very strong interest in the natural world, and I'm also interested in video games.
What real-world ingredients do you think might be in those health potions?
So, using the example of Skyrim, many ingredients used in health potions are from plants that you forage in the game. I think most real-world ingredients would be plant-derived. In Canada and the Western world, prescription pharmaceuticals are kind of like our real-world health potions, and at least a quarter of those are derived from, at least partially, from plants. Many plants, especially slow-growing perennials, have evolved chemical components to deter insects and animals from eating them, and these chemicals have proven very useful in medicine.
I think you'd probably be looking at quite a few like platelet generating sort of ingredients. So you'd probably have elements of it that would be like a vaccine, right, to help prevent you from being infected by bacteria or any sort of other, fantasy or non-fantasy ailments that might come along with your wounds, poisons, things like that. So yeah, probably see some poison neutralizers. And yeah, I think you'd probably see a lot of metabolism sort of spiking ingredients, things that would probably bring your adrenaline up, maybe some sort of analgesic, depending on the type of administrative method, right? If you're able to take this real health potion in the midst of battle or whatever, right? Then yeah, it's probably serves you as well to feel like you're less in pain, even if you haven't really been healed all the way.
So you could have a mix of charcoal for the poison effects, throw some caffeine in there, and then something else. But essentially you have a black potion.
Yeah, probably. It would probably be pretty gnarly looking, I imagine.
Great, yeah, that's promising. Let's see if a registered dietitian has a more edible take on health potions.
My name is Vinci Choi. I'm a registered dietitian. I have a Bachelor of Science in Nutrition, and I completed a 1-year internship and then have to complete continuing education every year in order to kind of keep my license in nutrition, and I've been a dietitian for 15 years.
So thanks for meeting us today, Vinci.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Arbor is excited too.
He's so excited. He really wants to know what would be in a health potion. What sort of foods do you eat if you're trying to heal?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. I think there are, different nutrients and things like that that can definitely support healing and health. Protein, it's sort of the building blocks of all the different cells in our body. Arbor is a huge fan of protein.
He's a really big fan of protein.
Arbor is eating cheese, which is a good source of protein. Other examples might be things like chicken or beef, or if you're looking at more like vegetarian examples, lentils and legumes, yogurt, dairy, those are all good sources of protein as well.
What else do we have? Why do we have oysters here?
Why do we have oysters? Oysters are a good source of zinc. Zinc is a mineral that makes up a lot of our immune cells, is involved in a lot of immune processes as well as healing. And so yeah, oysters in particular are quite high in zinc, but if you're not an oyster fan, a lot of like our meats again are going to be a good source of zinc. Pumpkin seeds are also a good source of zinc and magnesium in particular. Different nuts and seeds, yeah, you'll find zinc in there too.
Okay. And then we have a whole bunch of fruits and veggies.
Yes.
And I see we have some superfoods.
Yeah.
Our kale and our blueberries. Why are they called superfoods, and are they really super?
So superfoods are so called because they are high in a compound called, or different compounds that are considered antioxidants. There's something that's called oxidative stress, and I guess the best way to describe it is like when we work out, or yeah, like in a situation where we're injured, like that sort of creates like that stress on our body, and like antioxidants kind of help to reduce that stress from like a chemical sort of perspective. The tricky thing with superfoods though is the way that they measure like the level
Come back.
the way that they measure the level of antioxidants or antioxidant activity is like basically in a petri dish. So even though like this food might be high in that amount of antioxidant or antioxidant activity.
He doesn't want the antioxidants out.
No, okay. We don't really know what happens like in our body, right?
Oh. Like
in terms of it, like when it goes through our digestive system, will it have the same antioxidant activity, or if we're eating it with different foods at the same time? So superfoods I think are super because they have a good like marketing campaign behind them, but not really super in terms of healing.
Right. And then we have some citrus here in our pineapple and our lemon and lime. What does citrus have in it?
Yeah, so citrus as well as like these peppers here are a good source of vitamin C.
Okay.
So vitamin C, it's an antioxidant, but it's also a component in collagen.
Oh, okay. What's collagen?
So collagen is like a specific form of protein that we can find in like our skin and in our nails. So especially if you're kind of thinking about healing or wound healing, you know, vitamin C kind of promotes that because it helps to form the collagen, and it's an antioxidant, has some immune kind of properties as well. Vitamin A is another vitamin that is helpful in the healing process. I think similar to vitamin C, it kind of has like some immune properties.
I guess the last thing we have here is our meal replacement drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So is that kind of like a health potion?
In some ways it is, right? Like it's probably, you know, maybe the closest thing that we have right now to a healing potion. And I think there are meal replacement drinks that are formulated in certain ways so that they're either higher in protein or higher in like zinc or vitamins A and C to kind of promote healing. So this might be the closest thing that we have.
So if you were going to make a health potion
Mm-hmm.
out of the stuff you have here, what are your top 3 or 4 things from this table that you would toss in there?
Whoa, that's a good question. I mean, like for me, like it's looking at like the different nutrients, but as well like something that tastes okay, right?
Yeah.
Like because like if it tastes bad, like you're not gonna drink it, because like if you're in the middle of a battle and you drink something nasty, like you're not going to be able to, you know, keep like slaying the dragon or whatever.
You don't want to throw up in the middle of battle.
But like one of the things that's not actually on the table that I sometimes see, you know, athletes use as like a healing potion in a way is actually chocolate milk. Because like milk, it has like protein and vitamin, it's fortified with vitamin A, it has a bit of zinc and calcium. It doesn't have like the vitamin C in it, so maybe like if you wanted to blend that milk with something, and it has the carbohydrates. And Athletes use that as a recovery drink often, but it's still like, I guess, not the same as something that where you can get that instant healing.
Yeah, I think that, so it sounds like the instant is the hardest part
Yes.
for the health potion.
Yes.
What would you add into chocolate milk to make it even better?
Berries, maybe the pineapple. This might be weird, but like peppers or broccoli.
It's broccoli chocolate milk?
Yes,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, even though milk has zinc in it, it's definitely not as high as the amount that you'll find in oysters. So maybe you could add the oysters in there.
So blueberry oyster chocolate milk.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Well, that definitely made me want to drink this thing even more. Ugh. Maybe our fantasy experts can help me forget what's in store for me by talking about how they think health potions could actually work in the body.
I think that depends on the setting as well, right? And that's one of those ludonarrative dissonance that happens sometimes in a video game where the menus or the bars are showing you a certain thing, and that doesn't always line up with what you're seeing on screen, and then so your character doesn't look like they're taking any damage, but your health is going down, and then you drink a health potion and everything's fine again, versus like, seeing like things get healed and stuff like that, like in a fantasy film.
That makes sense. Yeah, 'cause in those games, you never you get hit with a big axe and you're not rend, right?
That would be the other one I would say, is that you're probably likely to see in a real health potion you'd probably have topical health potions and internally consumed. So I think if you think about an axe wound, you'd probably have to use a topical for that, or that might be faster acting or an easier way to heal that specific wound.
Or just get a spell.
That's true. Topical spells.
Topical spells.
How do you think a health potion works? Like, do you think that it's actually healing, or is it numbing, or having any sort of other effect?
I think a healing potion would have to be very complex, but at its core, it would magically accelerate the biological healing processes of the human body. I'd assume it would have to have a numbing or a pain-killing aspect in order to make this accelerated healing tolerable.
That makes sense, yeah. And usually when you see accelerated healing show up in any sort of game or show, it's usually accompanied by pain, or like it's really itchy or things like that.
Yeah, like with Wolverine.
Right. Of course.
He never looks like he's having a good time when he's being healed.
Very true. So in most games and things where health potions are, there's not really a consequence if you drank a bunch of health potions. Do you think there would be any side effects to drinking a lot of health potions all at once?
Yeah, I think it would be like taking any type of medication. Taking too much of it is probably going to make you sick. Most medications, and I think especially a health potion, would probably sit right on that line between being something healthy and something poisonous. Because you even think about certain medications or things that have been used traditionally in human society, things like wormwood or nightshade, that to a certain amount, even medicines like morphine and stuff like that, certain amounts very good, too much really bad. I think you would probably you would just leapfrog right into poison if you drank too many of them.
Yeah, based on what everyone has said so far, I don't think I'm at risk of overdoing it with these real-world health potions. But let's head back to Vinci to see what we can add for these additional effects.
In health potions, they might have something other than just the stuff that heals you in it, because you're in like the middle of a battle, you're probably tired. So if you were gonna have something to add energy, what sort of thing would you have in there to add energy?
When we think of energy, like sugar, or like for even quicker energy, like something like caffeine.
Would there be any downsides to drinking too many health potions, do you think? Like in terms of too much caffeine or protein or any of the vitamins?
I think so. Starting with the caffeine one, like I think most of us already know that there are concerns with having too much caffeine, because caffeine is technically a stimulant.
Right. Yeah. Just a legal one.
Yes.
Yeah. And then if you had too much sugar in the form of energy drinks or lovely carbs, what would that do to your body?
With sugar or carbs, the concern is more of like the short term, sort of that, you kind of get that sugar high or that energy buzz, but then it kind of crashes like right after. And so that's why often when I talk about trying, even though yes, like carbs are our body's preferred form of energy, I do talk about trying to combine it with other nutrients like proteins and fats and fiber, so that, the carbs like don't break down and get converted into sugar as quickly, and so your blood sugar doesn't spike as high and it doesn't come down as quickly either. So you get that more sustained form of energy.
Okay.
I don't know if it would be helpful to start with like an analogy, but
Absolutely.
like if you're thinking of cars, like carbs and sugar would basically be like the fuel, like when you get gas, whereas caffeine is kind of like nitrous oxide or NOS. It's more of like an enhancer versus actually giving you like true energy.
And some of our other experts mentioned that there might have to be something like to stop pain or like numb you in some way, so that maybe the potion's not healing you as much as just letting you get through the fight. So what would you recommend or think that you could put in there to as that sort of, is it analgesic? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Other than like ibuprofen.
Yeah, like I think we're probably looking at like something that's more like a medication at this point. Like I think there are some natural ones, like I think cloves have like some natural analgesic effect, but I think what tends to be more effective when we're looking at like natural analgesics is like topical ones, as opposed to like something that you're taking in.
Okay. And the last thing that we were mentioning might have to be in these health potions is something to potentially counteract the effect of poison. So you might have something like a charcoal.
I feel like this health potion is turning into like an all-in-one.
That's what they tend to be in games, is that you drink this and you're healed.
Fair
right?
enough, yeah.
Which is difficult in real life. Activated charcoal would also make it black, where health potions tend to be red. So can you think of anything that would get put into a health potion that would make it bright red, or what color do you think a health potion would come out to
like
be?
based on what we've talked about, I think it's gonna be brown, and not even a pretty brown, like
No,
a
it's gonna be
swampy
that-
brown.
Yeah. That like, oh, I don't want to eat that brown.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe some beets. Maybe.
Oh yeah, beets are like raspberries.
Yeah.
So, chocolate milk, oyster, blueberry, beet,
Raspberry.
Yeah, we need double red. Double red in there. Okay, great. I still don't want to drink it. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. I think we've learned a lot about what we could put in our health potion, and that it doesn't have to just be oysters and beef and cheese, which is a boon, really, to me. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your knowledge with us.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, and good luck.
Thank you.
I definitely think I'll need that luck for this potion and to deal with Arbor through the rest of this. Ugh. To take a little break from his chaos before we get into the experiment, I want to talk with our fantasy experts one more time and introduce someone new.
I am O'Darren Tobin. I am a big sci-fi and fantasy geek, and have been for pretty much my whole life. I've been into Dungeons and Dragons for many years now, as well as playing some other tabletop games, in which I've played and been the game master for. And I'm also writing my own sci-fi narrative podcast with some friends.
Where do you get health potions in games? And like, who makes them?
Usually alchemist, herbalist, that sort of thing. Someone who's working with plants. Other than that, in a lot of fantasy settings, it's usually the sort of spellcasters, whether it be wizards, sorcerers, whoever they are. They're usually the ones that you would buy the potions from, providing sort of magical ingredients and magical effects to it. Whether it's cast a spell on this water and turn it rather into from water into wine, water into health potion sort of thing. Yeah.
Who's selling these health potions?
Oh man, the people that have spec'd properly into alchemy. I mean, people sleep on it all the time. Potions are kind of boring in video games. Everyone wants to shoot lightning from their fingertips. But I think, yeah, man, the alchemists and the people that are gathering ingredients. And I think that's where you see a lot of fantasy economies will sort of be built around, whether it's for game purpose or to sort of create that setting where a purpose for adventurers. Why are there so many adventures in this setting? And sometimes I think it's just to provide ingredients for these types of products or things like that. Like the world is running off of these types of harvesters of monster ingredients, because yeah, I can't imagine that you can just grow all your health potion needs in your backyard.
That is a system in a lot of games. I hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah. The alchemists are the real driver behind all the adventurers causing chaos.
That's right. That's why the apothecary is so important in Romeo and Juliet.
I wonder if the people making the potions are also releasing monsters.
Perhaps so, right?
Feed the system, right? Because if your adventurers get bored, they leave.
Mm-hmm. Or what happens if you have an environment where monsters are being overhunted for the purposes of creating health potions? What does that do to your fantasy ecosystem?
Oh my god, the ecology of this.
And where do you think you would get health potions in real life? Like who would make health potions in real life?
I think it would be best to leave the potion crafting to the professionals. So you should probably source your health potions from your local pharmacy.
That's a very responsible answer.
Oh.
Don't make medicine, kids. Ah, truly excellent advice. Do not try to make medicine at home. And even if you're just going to mix normal edible things together to make something arguably less edible, it still doesn't hurt to have an expert around.
Scout Hub. I have a bachelor's degree in health sciences, and I enjoy the creative aspect of science and combining it into STEAM education.
Well, hi Scout. Thanks for joining us and helping us out today.
Yeah, no worries.
So we learned from our dietitian friend Vinci that we need certain things to make a health potion. So let's see if we can make a health potion.
Sweet.
Some of the things that we have.
Brilliant. We have a lot of stuff here. So let's see. I mean, so we have Arbor's liver treats.
As a vegetarian, we can't really.
Well, that's not the only source of protein. We also have eggs, which are actually a complete source of protein. So we should probably add some of that. It's a great way to start our potion.
We just want to put a raw egg in there. You know what? Before we do, we should probably get a baseline, right?
That's true.
Because if we're
We
going
have
to
to see
test
if
if this
this-
health potion works,
Very true.
we need to like put ourselves in a state where we need to like regain some energy and some health, some stamina.
Okay,
something
so
like that.
you want to go on a quest?
I think we would probably just do like push-ups or something.
Sounds less fun, but okay, sure. Let's give it a go. All right, we'll do some push-ups. We'll get a baseline, make a health potion, and see if it works.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. So we need to. Arbor.
Is Arbor good with push-ups?
Yeah, he can do push-ups.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gonna do some push-ups?
You want to do some push-ups with us, buddy?
All right. So if you would like to go first,
Sure. How many are we doing?
what feels 7?
7. Okay.
7 push-ups.
7 push-ups. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Oh, someone's excited for their turn.
Okay. All right. Okay. My turn. It's.
I mean, you look like you're ready for this. You got your epic adventure quest shirt on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from Geek Tropical, and it's actually a pretty good workout shirt. It's really, really lightweight.
Cool.
They had a lot of like heart patterns and adventure sort of
Yeah.
patterns on there. They have so many designs, but I like this one for the that has the things that take away your health and the things that give you health. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's do
Here
it.
we go.
Ow, Arbor.
Okay.
Ow. All right. 1. Okay, good. 2.
Oh.
How are we supposed to do our baseline?
Do you want to do your push-ups?
Okay.
You want to do push-ups? Okay.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
Okay. Come here.
All right, we'll let you go first.
Okay. Come here.
All right, let's do it, buddy.
Sit. Down. Up. Around. Okay. Sit. Down. Up. Nope. What's the opposite? Opposite of up?
We got a total of 1.5.
Around.
2 for you.
We'll just make him do 3. Sit.
All right,
Down.
1 more.
Up.
Good boy.
There you go. Good job. Now, can I do
boy.
push-ups? Here you go.
All right. Can I go over here?
Okay.
Wait, sit.
Okay. How's that? What? 3?
You got 3. 1 more.
4.
There you go.
5, 6, 7.
Oh, Arbor.
ah.
Oh, come on, buddy. You
Well,
doing
that
okay?
was chaotic.
Yeah, just a bit.
So I guess we should just make a health potion.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
To try to recover a little bit.
Yeah, I need something.
Okay.
And you wanted to start with just the raw egg.
Well, I mean, one of the things you mentioned is we need protein.
Yes.
So eggs are one of the only complete sources of protein. So I guess we should throw that in there.
Do the honors.
All right. Perfect. Here we go. We'll just, I usually like my eggs scrambled.
Okay.
But
so this will
raw
do
egg
that.
is fine.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And it's okay to eat raw egg?
Yeah. Okay.
Like Rocky.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, always trust the movies. So it's only 1.
And what do you
It's not
want?
gonna be too bad.
Chaos.
Oh, now you're back.
What
Okay.
next?
Well, you had mentioned that we need some vitamin A.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, carrots are an excellent source of vitamin A. They're good for your eyes. So I'm going to try to break up a couple of these pieces. We'll put them in there.
Yeah, great. Great.
You can have this then.
Oh, sure.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Vitamin A, brilliant. We also mentioned that we need vitamin C.
Vitamin C, yeah.
And so luckily, A good ingredient is berries that actually goes in like a smoothie-ish bit. So this one's yours.
so we're not...
You can have your vitamin C. We'll have our vitamin C.
It's the same thing.
There.
We're holding the same thing.
Also, kale is a really good source of vitamin C, so we'll throw some in there.
Okay, and then we needed zinc as another
Yes,
one.
cheese is actually really good for zinc. And as a vegetarian, you probably eat a lot of cheese.
I can eat, Arbor likes cheese too.
Perfect. Cheese also has a little bit of protein in there too, so throw some there. Do you want some cheese too? We'll have our zinc, you can have yours. Broccoli, like I mentioned before, also has vitamins, and it also has a bunch of protein. It's actually one of the higher protein vegetables, so let's throw some broccoli in there too.
Ooh, this is gonna be
green.
Something. Yeah.
And then you had mentioned to me like carbs and sugars.
Yeah.
Fruits and vegetables technically have carbs in it, but you know, I like cupcakes, and I think this needs some flavor. So I'm gonna put a cupcake in there because it's a fast-acting carb, fast-acting sugar, and hopefully it's gonna make this taste a lot better. So I'll just push that in there, nice and squishy. Two?
Don't put the wrapper in. I think one is probably.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. You gonna balance it out?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. We'll add some water.
Yes, we need to make it a bit more drinkable. It's gonna be fine.
Cupcake is dissolving.
It's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be dissolved in the end, right, Arbor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's looking worse.
I hate wet bread.
Okay, well, good thing it's not bread. It's mostly just sugar, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess that's why it dissolves
Look at
so much.
it looks like a nice layered salad.
Nice, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll let you do the honors. Make sure it's nice and tight, don't spray all over the place. And then let's just mix it up and hope for the best. All right, here we go. Good.
It looks like Christmas.
It sort of looks like a funfetti cake.
It does look like a funfetti cake.
Okay.
Come here, Arbor.
Let's
I guess we need to taste this now.
I mean, that's
and see if it helps us replenish from our workout.
Kind of how.
There's foam at the top now.
Oh, good.
What is
Maybe
this?
that'll help.
From the egg white?
Yes, from the egg white.
It's getting. There's so much foam. Why did I choose this?
It's. Hopefully, it tastes better than it looks.
Yeah.
We can wash it down with a cupcake after.
Great. Yeah, I'm sure we'll want to.
Great. Okay. Do you have any glasses?
Yeah, I got some glasses.
Perfect. I'll just have a little.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have most of it. You're the one who looks pretty tired after battling with Arbor and everything. So I'm in pretty good health as is. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arbor, you get to try it too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you can have all of those.
I just remembered there's cheese in this. Arbor, come here.
How did you forget?
I didn't want to remember. Arbor. There's just so much foam at the top.
He's gonna get all the foam.
He's gonna get all the foam. Oh, it's so chunky.
Oh. I always like to chew my health potions instead of drink them.
Yeah?
It helps. What? Ow! That's a lot.
To health.
To health.
The flavor's not actually bad.
It's actually not that bad.
It's the texture.
Broccoli.
There's a lot of broccoli and lettuce.
Stuck in your throat.
Yeah.
But the berries and the cupcake helped, I think.
I think so, yeah. Here, Arbor.
Oh, there's a strong carrot aftertaste.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to try, Arbor?
All right, want to take a lick?
Okay, doesn't seem to mind the texture. Okay. How you feeling, Arbor? Is that good?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess it's Arbor approved.
Yep. And it's you know what? It tastes healthy.
It does taste healthy.
It tastes healthy.
It's it's one of those things where you drink it and you're like, I'm good. I'm full.
And you know what? If it works like a health potion and it can give us some like nice energy replenishment and it heals us, then it's great. You know, like a nice short-term energy boost.
Short term?
Yeah, as health potions usually work pretty fast.
Maybe in D&D, but our health usually is measured in long-term things. So we actually won't, if we drank this, every day for 3 years, we might know if it's going to make a difference, but I don't think we're going to see anything really fast with this.
So we just drank this for no reason.
Oh, for,
No reason.
For science.
For science, right?
Yeah.
Right. Great. Yeah, I'm not mad about that at all. That's fine.
Well, I mean, like, it's never bad to be healthy. But maybe we could make a short-term health potion.
Yeah, how would we do that?
Well, I mean, we can't make a short-term
I'm
one
glad
with
you like
the
it.
ingredients that you had there because, you know, usually short-term things are made with pharmaceuticals.
Right.
But, random question, when was the last time you ate?
Before this?
Yeah, but before
Oh,
this.
it's been a while. Yeah.
Okay, well, because I think you're a little hangry.
You know that could be it. Can we influence? I mean, hunger through eating, but can we influence mood?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, mood and energy are two things that can be basically indicators of our health. Wow, you really liked
He really
the
likes
potion.
it.
You
I guess it's good. It's
you
good
can
for
have
you.
mine. What if we made a health potion that was short term? One that maybe won't have like healing benefits for us, like maybe this creation would,
Right,
but
right.
we could do something that would influence our mood and our energy. Two short term
He really likes
things.
it. Well, at least it's not all going to waste. Let me go gather some more energy things.
Okay. I guess.
Oh no!
Oh, that made it worse.
Oh, so much worse.
Okay, chocolate is really good at boosting our moods, gives us some endorphins.
It's changing texture. I
Yep.
can't look at that.
Shall we?
Let's, for sure. Oh,
Alright.
it's such a weird color now.
For science.
What did we put in there that would be making that sound?
A chocolate?
Oh, the chocolate.
The
I forgot you
chocolate?
put the chocolate in. Yeah, thankfully,
Alright.
Arbor has no fear of loud noises.
Perfect.
All right, now Arbor, you can't have this one because it has caffeine, which is very dangerous for dogs.
So is
Okay?
chocolate.
So is chocolate.
All right. How's it smell?
Complicated.
You get hit with like berry and then immediately like a weird
Yeah, the meal replacement.
meal
in
replacement.
there.
Like, okay.
All right. Okay, and then after this, we can retest
To
and
see
see.
if we feel recovered and
Yeah, see if
energized.
this helps us with our stamina.
okay. To health?
To health. That's not bad.
Wow, this actually tastes.
This is much better. The texture, there's still floaty things in there, but the
The texture is much better.
texture's much better. It's very sweet. I can feel that caffeine.
Woo! Yep.
Yep. All right. Should
Oh, yeah.
we,
Should we retest?
let's retest.
All right.
Okay. So I'm
Alright.
definitely feeling more energetic.
Yeah, I feel
After
like
that
the
potion?
sugar and the
Yeah.
caffeine that
So
whew,
much caffeine.
got a bit of a buzz
Okay.
there. Should we do our test again?
Let's try.
Okay.
I'll slide him.
Scooch over a bit there, buddy.
All right. If you
All
want
right. 7 more push-ups.
to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Whoa.
Okay. Was that a little easier?
I do feel like I have a bit more energy.
Okay.
I feel like I could go a bit longer.
Okay.
Okay, you want to give it a go?
Can you hold this
Okay.
creature?
All right, come here, buddy.
All right.
How do we feel?
Pretty energized, actually.
Nice.
Ooh, I should have prepared with push-ups for
All right.
today. And we don't have to test you again because you didn't have the energy potion. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's a good boy.
So then we'll just do this again in a couple years, see if the long-term one works?
Does that mean I have to drink the long-term one every day?
Yes.
Then no, I think this is good for science. Yeah, this
Okay.
is a nice science. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming in and helping us with this today, Scout.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope you have something that requires a lot of energy later in the day so that you can run off all that caffeine.
Yeah, very true.
Okay, well, I was pretty nervous for what I was going to have to drink there for a minute, but in the end, our potion turned out fine. Ugh. But even though our potion didn't work quite as good as the ones in video games or D&D, we did learn a lot about what foods might go into a healing potion, what foods in real life promote healing, and the side effects of drinking too many health potions. And all of this was definitely a great distraction from my elbow pain. But I think I had a little bit too much of the energy promoting foods. So you enjoy your nap, buddy. Okay? I'm gonna go run around. Okay. Did you have any other thoughts on health potions you wanted to share?
I think that covers all my thoughts I've ever had in my life about health potions.
Beautiful. Okay,